Good day, fellow investors. Welcome to Arabian Property Pulse, your weekly podcast dedicated to the real estate market in the Middle East. Fueled by coffee and powered by our sponsor, NelsonPark Property, I'm your host, Jeffrey Asselstein. Good day, everyone. Today, I want to talk to you about the benefits of investing in real estate. It may sound like something that I should have covered off perhaps in the first episode. In the last few episodes, we talked about why Qatar, why Dubai, why invest in these markets, and then also looking at the tax benefits of these two countries. So what I wanted to do today was just do a brief overview of some of the other major benefits of investing in real estate, particularly rental investing. So I'm not going to talk about capital gains today. I'm not going to talk about doing a flip or doing a refinancing deal or buying a property, fixing it up and selling it at a higher price, or doing a short sale. We'll cover all those in future episodes. So today we're just going to look at the very simple, steady investing in rental real estate. Investing in real estate has been a hallmark of my investment career and my investing journey. So it actually was the real reason I set up NelsonPark Property, in that I had always loved real estate. For those that know me well, I had 18 years of banking, 16 years of HSBC, and 2 years with Qatar National Bank. And then at the end of the financial crisis, I was made redundant and set up my own company, NelsonPark Property, which you know about. The reason I turned towards real estate is because I'd always been an investor. I'd always loved real estate. And what I'm going to share with you today is, beyond some of the other things I mentioned, some of the great benefits of investing in rental real estate and why do it. So, number one of the great benefits is looking at steady cash flow. So from that monthly rental revenue that you have coming in, for people that may be listening in Dubai, you'd say, what do you mean monthly? In Dubai, sometimes they get a full year's rent up front, or quarterly or semi-annually. Qatar and most of the world is monthly, but you have a nice steady cash flow every month, every week, depending on how the rental goes. You have a nice steady cash flow that's coming in. So when you're the owner, you got a good tenant in place and they're paying the rent on time every period of time that money is coming in. It's often referred to as great passive income. I don't think any income is truly passive, but it's pretty close. I haven't spoken to any of my tenants today, but yet all the rent is coming in just as normal. So it's a nice steady cash flow. The second great benefit is equity building. And to be frank, you can actually do a whole podcast just on equity building. There's a great book, and I'll try to put it in the notes to the podcast about who the writers were. It's slipping my mind right now, called Equity Happens. I read the book about 18 years ago. It's by the two great gentlemen behind another fantastic podcast, another one of my inspirations, called The Real Estate Guys Radio Show. These guys have a fantastic radio show that's then formatted into a podcast, and their famous book, Equity Happens, is a really wonderful book to read. A great way to look at rental investing and what you can do with it. So one of the great, again, real benefits of investing in real estate, investing in rental real estate, is equity building. It just has that dive, the property increases over time, your equity increases, and it's a huge benefit. But really tied into that, and this was the genesis of this podcast idea that I want to start with today, but I'm expanding into other things, was when you have, I'll give you a great example. I have a property right now, and the mortgage payment is 6,000 Qatari riyals per month. The rent I receive on that is 8,000 riyals per month. So if somebody looks at it and said, oh, you're only making 2,000 riyals. Well, no, that's not the case. I'm making 2,000 riyals per month, plus all the principal that's being paid down on that property every month. So of that mortgage amount, right now, in my case, about 80% of it is all principal, because we're getting down to the final few years of the mortgage, and as it's coming down, the vast majority of that is going into the principal. So my equity is increasing a good amount every single month. I'm not doing anything to earn it. It's just coming all the way through. Again, I hinted on this a little bit earlier, on the appreciation. And hopefully over time, your property is increasing in value. And depending on which market it is, you may have seen some huge increases over the years. One of my properties that I've had amazing increases over the years, and able to benefit from that, again, without me doing anything at all. The equity is happening. The appreciation of the property is a great benefit from investing in real estate, into rental real estate. So number 4 is the tax benefits. We look at tax benefits globally. In many countries, you get good tax write-offs from the interest or the depreciation or any other parts of costs of running a property, utilities, whatever you're actually paying for. in the Middle East with pretty much zero personal income tax. You may not benefit so much from that per se because you have zero tax, you're already benefiting. But in some countries, it has huge tax benefits and makes it a very tax efficient vehicle to have your money placed. Number 5, looking at inflation. Real estate markets generally, although not always in lockstep, as inflation rises, real estate tends to follow. So it's a real good natural hedge against inflation. So as prices go up in the world, real estate prices tend to follow, not overly, lockstep, but there tends to be a really good correlation between the two. Number 6, looking at diversification. A lot of people have money in shares or in stocks or bonds. Nowadays, Bitcoin. Real estate provides a nice diversification. Allows you to put huge amounts of money into different fields. And for those more international investors, a strategy, and I won't refer to the specific countries, but a country I used to live in that had a government regime that wasn't always that popular with all the residents. They would often buy outside of their own countries, buy real estate in major cities like London, New York, Toronto, in fact, and just use it as a pure hedge against any kind of government risk in their own country. Money is safe in these other countries. They have a rule of law that's perhaps stronger than where they're originally from. They get great benefits out of that. Number 7, leverage. So in some countries it's called gearing, leverage, borrowing, however you want to call it. But being able to borrow against your property to either buy the unit or to do refinance has huge benefits. Particularly if you can get your cash flow return, get your gross yield above the interest rate you're paying, then your returns skyrocket. Huge benefit of being able to leverage against property. It's if somebody wants to borrow against stocks, it's normally about 50%. If you want to borrow against your property, 60, 70, 80, sometimes 90%, even 100% on occasion that you can borrow against your property. A good, strong way to increase your returns by doing that. And the last couple of things, well, maybe the last one I'll say is, I was discussing with someone the other night, no formal education required. In other words, you don't need a specific degree to invest in real estate. You just need to have the funds to put it together. And it's a great way to do it as well. I don't know, but even though I run a real estate business and I'm in real estate all the time, I actually don't have a lot of time for my personal investing. So I find that investing in residential real estate, putting the money in, earning the income that comes from it, is a great way to get a nice return without having to spend a lot of money on it. I did try stock market investing once before, do a little bit of foreign exchange investing, and the amount of time that it took up in my head mentally every day was way, way too much. Trying to pick stocks and play the market, not a chance. My brother would tell you if he used to come on the show, he tried investing in foreign exchange for a little while, and he'll date himself, or I guess myself, by the story of he had a pager or a beeper, as it used to be called, in his pocket. We were out playing golf, and that thing was going off every 5 minutes, and every 5 minutes he had to check his beeper to see what the price of the US dollar was against sterling, or US dollars, again, I'll show my age, against Deutschmarks, to see where the markets were going. It was taking up so much of his time. He's been a fantastic investor in commercial real estate. I can assure you he's not checking his phone every 2 minutes about the value of his property. So again, a great way to invest, not to have to think about it so much. And so if you're looking at, what are some of the reasons why you might want to invest in real estate, in particularly residential real estate, I hope the points I made above and earlier cover that off, give you some good idea of these are some major reasons why to do it. So if you found that interesting and you'd like to hear a little bit more, feel free to reach out to any of our specialists at NelsonParkProperty.com, and we'll be more than pleased to help you out. Take care now. Bye-bye. Hopefully that gave you something to think about. Enjoy your week, and if you need assistance with any of your real estate needs, get in touch with Nelson Park Property at NelsonParkProperty.com.